Mini Cooper is the definitive hot hatchback. Honestly, the compact dimensions make it really fun to drive. You have the normal hardtop coupe hatchback, you do have the crossover which is called the Countryman, and then you have this, the convertible. Honestly, this is my most favorite body style for the Cooper because you can have just as fun with the open air experience. Welcome everybody to the 2023 Mini Cooper Convertible Seaside Edition. The front end of the Cooper S Seaside Edition has the typical mini looks, which I am personally a big fan of. When you see this on the road, you know that it is unmistakably a Mini Cooper, which is not a bad thing. Since this is the Seaside Edition, you do have white surrounds around the egg-shaped headlights, which look pretty good and contrast really well with this paint, which is called Caribbean Aqua. You would never figure out that this is a blue color just by the name, but it looks really good, and I think in this spec it really pops on a sunny day with the roof down. It actually looks good. It's got some contrasting elements as well. The grille is all gloss black and it has the S badge since this is the Cooper S Seaside Edition, not a JCW. The JCW has the separate badging on the grille. You've got functional vents on the bumpers which look really good. There is one fake vent though on the hood, which I wish if that was functional would have completed the whole package perfectly. But yeah, it looks really good. When you move on to the side of the Cooper, it's got some very stylish looking rims. They are exclusive to the Seaside Edition and they're a bit too much on the bling side, to be honest. Something a bit more subtle would have also worked. But since this is a Seaside, they want to make it look a bit more exclusive. These wheels do look pretty good. You do have themed center caps for the wheels, so this is matching with the Seaside Edition, the paint, the Caribbean Aqua, and these are center leveling rims, so no matter how much you flip them, it always comes back to position on the center with the Mini logo facing the right way. Pretty cool. Obviously it's an option, doesn't come completely as standard, but definitely a cool option to tick on your car. You do have white pinstripes throughout the door and white door handles and a white fuel filler cap on the other side to make sure that this is different compared to the other Minis. The Seaside Edition has all these additions, and you do have black dot mirrors, and you do have a little plaque on the fender that says Seaside. Again, it has the typical Mini convertible silhouette, and with this combination spec, I think it really looks good. The rear of the Cooper S Seaside Edition is just a typical Mini. You've got the convertible look, so when the roof is folded, you do have a bit of the roof sticking out, which is a bit of a nightmare when you're driving because the center mirror is completely useless then. You've got the Union Jack taillights, which is now standard on all Minis, which actually looks pretty good if you ask me when it's lit at night. You do have twin exhausts, which actually sound pretty good. Very less pumped in audio, more natural noise, which I support openly. You do have white tailgate opener, which sticks out a bit like a sore thumb, but since this is the Seaside and the contrasting with the blue and the white on other elements, this is white. Even the Mini logo is white, so it's not the usual blacked out Mini logo, it's all white, which is a bit different. So when you see one on the road, you know that this is definitely not the regular run-of-the-mill Mini. But then you do not have the Cooper badge, so then you might be confused, the layman might be confused what it is, but you only have Seaside, which actually looks like a tacky sticker. Maybe a little thicker badge or a proper emblem would have completed the whole rear end. But again, it just looks cute, compact, and I love the way the Cooper S has always looked from the rear. The interior of the Mini, well, this is a unique perspective because I'm standing outside. Since it's a convertible, you can still see the whole of the interior. It's a great place to be. It's all blacked out like how Minis are. Some specifics to the Seaside Edition are the carpets, because they have the same emblem on the carpet, which looks a bit tacky, and you do have a bit of the paint, you know, when you open the doors and stuff, you can see the same Caribbean Aqua paint in the interior. Otherwise, it's the standard fare Mini interior, and again, it's a very comfy place to be. You can easily feel at home right away. The seats themselves are very comfortable. You have lots of adjustments, but it's all manual though, no electric seats. So you have got manual adjusters, manual under thigh extensions, and manual lumbar support. But again, it's a great place to be, and since this is the automatic, I had the manual last time, the gear lever looks actually very premium and just like how I like it in the Mini Cooper. You do have the big iDrive screen with everything, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, all the works. You've got the digital speedometer, which looks pretty good as well. Again, what can I say? Mini it's just stuck to its core strengths, and this is no different. One thing that has been carried on from the other Minis, which is really difficult to praise, is the rear seat space. Honestly, I had a friend sit in the back and it felt like torture to that person sitting for longer hours. The backrest is very upright and legroom is very much dependent on how tall the front passenger is. If the driver is short and the seat is pulled forward, you do have space. Otherwise, please don't put anyone in the back. I would strongly not recommend to do so. Now I'm behind the wheel of the Cooper S Seaside Edition, and let's see how this convertible drives. So slot the gear lever into drive and you set off, and this has the 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine that produces 190 horsepower. It's only front wheel drive, and this has the 7-speed dual clutch automatic, which shifts pretty well. You've got paddle shifters as well, and it's a welcome change for the manual, because personally I did not like the manual, and I feel like this engine is mated perfectly to this gearbox. Once you get going, you do realize that you don't have to floor the throttle to get going, and you're easily well into the speed limits, and it feels pretty nice actually, the steering feel, and you can just cruise with the top down. It feels nice. This is in mid mode. There are drive modes: green, mid, and sport. So green is for, it's completely dulled down, and it's for fuel economy, which is pretty economy. If you put in green mode and you drive on the highway, you can easily get 6.5 liters, 7 liters per 100, which is amazing, which this car can do if you actually put it to. So if I put it to sport, like even mid, the steering feel is just about right. It's not overly heavy. But if I put it to sport, and everything just becomes a bit more aggressive. I put the gear lever into sport as well. Everything's in 2 to the 11. You can hear the engine gets a bit more, audible. You can hear the exhaust, a bit of pumped-in audio, but it's lots of engine noises, and especially with the roof down, you can actually hear a lot of intake noises, a lot of turbo blow-off valve issues. And if I floor it, wow, you can hear a little pop when you upshift as well, and then you have the blow-off valve, which sounds really good. It's actually nice. Wow, this car is meant for these kind of twisty roads, open top, good weather. It's just made for this. The ride is a bit stiff because there are 40 section tires. There are 16-inch 205, but it just feels so good because the tires themselves are not very good. These are the Goodyears. But if you please, I've always said on every mini review, if you buy a mini, please upgrade the tires. But wow, I can do this all day. Just hear the blow-off valve on the exhaust. It's so fun. This car with this weather, with the open top, the sun's out, these twisty sections of road, it's a match made in heaven. Honestly, this is what you'd buy this car for. It's so much fun. I can just keep on driving because in Sport Plus the steering does weigh up compared to other modes, but it's not overly heavy and it's pretty direct, so you can make mid-corner adjustments pretty easily as well. It's just so much fun. I can have so much fun just driving this car. Wow. And then there's a turbo, and then if I click on the paddles I can just downshift because the gear shift is pretty fast. You can downshift pretty quickly. It's just amazing. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I can just downshift back through the gears, the orbit turns, and it's so fun. Wow. Just a bit more hairpin, and it's so nice. It's so nimble. It's so fun. Wow. Can't fault it. I love the way Mini drives. This is no different. The basic hardware is same. It's just the Seaside edition, just appearance. Thank God Mini did not mess around with the way this car drives for this edition. I just love it. In conclusion then, the Mini Cooper S Seaside edition. Well, this is just a limited edition and it's just cosmetics. Everything else, the dynamics and everything is just a typical Cooper S, which is never a bad thing. I personally love the way this car looks, drives, and the Seaside edition does bring a bit of flair. The Seaside edition, however, starts at $50,000 Canadian, which is quite a lot for a small little hatchback. But there is really nothing else in the market that goes up directly head-on with this. Nothing that is as retro, is stylish, and has the Mini heritage brand history. I guess if you're in the market to buy a smart, small hatchback, you really have nothing else. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.